Imagine being able to see through skin, through muscle, straight into the hidden structure of the human body, without making a single cut. What once sounded like magic is now routine in hospitals every day. But how is it possible? I am Marie Curie, and today I will guide you through the invisible world of X-ray zone of the most powerful discoveries in science and medicine. In the quiet glow of a dim laboratory at the end of the 19th century, a mystery revealed itself. A German physicist, Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, was studying cathode ray streams of energy moving through a vacuum tube. His room was dark, the air still, his attention precise. Then, something unexpected happened. Across the room, a faint light appeared on a coated screen. It should not have been possible. The tube was covered. No visible light could escape. Yet, something unseen was traveling through the air. Röntgen did not rush. He observed, repeated, questioned. What he had found was not light as we know it, but something far more penetrating, a new kind of ray unknown, invisible, powerful. He called them X-rays. To understand them, he placed objects between the rays and a photographic plate. Wood vanished, books faded, metal resisted. And then he placed a human hand. When the image developed, it revealed something never before seen by human eyes bones. Suspended within flesh and a ring hovering like a ghost around a finger. For the first time in history, the living body had become transparent. Not through magic, but through science. This discovery did not shout. It did not explode into the world. It emerged quietly with patience, curiosity, and careful thought. A reminder that the greatest revolutions in science often begin in silence. To understand X-rays, we must first understand something deeper, energy itself. X-rays are not objects you can touch, nor light you can see. They belong to a vast family known as electromagnetic waves like sunlight, but far more energetic, far more penetrating. Imagine them as silent travelers, moving at the speed of light, passing through the world without announcing their presence. When these rays meet the human body, something remarkable happens. They do not treat all things equally. Soft tissue, skin, muscle, organs offer little resistance. The rays pass through them, almost effortlessly, like wind through an open field. But bone is different, dense, solid, rich in calcium. It stands in the path of these rays and absorbs them, slowing them down, blocking their journey. Now, behind the body, there is a surface waiting a detector, sensitive to what remains of these invisible. Where many X-rays arrive, the image becomes dark. Where few can pass, the image becomes light. And so, without cutting, without opening, a hidden structure appears. Not as color, not as texture, but as contrast, light and shadow, presence and absence. This is the language of X-rays. A quiet conversation between energy and matter, translated into an image we can understand. It is not that we are seeing inside the body directly, we are witnessing the story of resistance, of what allows the rays through and what refuses. And in that delicate balance, the invisible becomes visible. A discovery becomes meaningful, not when it is understood, but when it begins to serve life. X-rays did not remain in the laboratory. They moved quietly, steadily into the hands of those who heal. For the first time, a physician no longer had to rely only on touch or guesswork. The body could reveal its secrets without being opened. A fracture, once hidden beneath swelling and pain, could now be seen clearly. Its shape, its direction, its truth. Infections deep within the body no longer needed to remain silent. Even the faint outline of a tumor could emerge, early enough to change a life. This was not merely convenience. It was transformation. During times of war, when chaos and urgency filled the air, X-rays became instruments of precision. Wounded soldiers arrived with unseen injuries, bullets lodged deep, bones shattered beyond recognition. And yet, through the careful use of mobile X-ray units, many, guided by Marie Curie, herself surgeons, could see before they acted. They could locate, decide, and save time where time meant survival. Lives were not only treated, they were preserved, because the invisible had been made visible. But beyond hospitals and battlefields, the importance of X-rays reaches further. They changed how we think about the human body, no longer a mystery sealed beneath the skin, but a structure that can be studied, understood, and protected. They remind us that knowledge is not always loud. It does not always arrive with certainty or ease. Sometimes it arrives as a faint image, a shadow on a plate, a quiet breakthrough that reshapes the world. And perhaps that is why X-rays matter so deeply. Not because they allow us to see bones, but because they represent something greater, the ability of science to reveal truth, gently, precisely, and in service of life. With every great discovery there comes a quiet question, not of possibility, but of consequence. X-rays reveal. They illuminate what is hidden, but they are not gentle by nature. These rays carry energy enough to pass through flesh, enough to alter the very cells that sustain life. In the early days, this truth was not yet fully understood. Scientists, physicians, even pioneers like Marie Curie worked closely with radiation, often without protection. They followed curiosity, guided by purpose, but unaware of the long shadows such exposure could cast. Over time, the effects became clear. Too much radiation can damage living tissue. It can disrupt the delicate structure of cells and in some cases lead to illness. This was not a failure of science, but a deeper lesson from it. To see further, we must also learn to measure, to limit, to respect. And so, modern medicine changed. Today, X-rays are used with precision. The dose is carefully controlled just enough to capture an image, no more. Protective shields guard the most sensitive parts of the body. Time of exposure is minimized. Distance is respected. Every image is a balance between clarity and care. For most people, the risk is very small, so small that the benefit far outweighs it. A single X-ray can provide answers that guide treatment, prevent complications, even save a life. But the principle remains. We do not take more than we need, because safety in science is not about fear. It is about understanding limits and honoring them. X-rays teach us something profound, that even the most powerful tools must be handled with humility. That knowledge alone is not enough. It must be guided by responsibility. And in that balance between discovery and discipline, science continues to serve humanity safely, quietly, and wisely. And so, what began as a faint, invisible force in a quiet laboratory became a window into ourselves. X-rays do not simply show us bones. They reveal structure, fragility, and the hidden truths we carry within. They remind us that the human body, so familiar, so visible, is still full of mysteries beneath the surface. And more than that, they remind us of something deeper. That progress is not always loud. It does not always arrive in grand moments. Sometimes it arrives as a shadow on a screen, a quiet image, a gentle breakthrough that changes how we see life itself. From the unseen to the understood, this is the journey of science, and it is far from over.